If you have reached the blue wave in front of the Hamilton Waterfront Trust Center, please continue on to episode 2.
So we're now standing in front of the Hamilton Waterfront Trust Center, and when this facility first opened, it's quite a distinctive building right down on the waterfront. It was the Canada Marine Discovery Centre, and it was run by Parks Canada. So it was around for a couple of years, but sadly the facility didn't survive, and that land was ultimately transferred over to the Hamilton Waterfront Trust, including the building. Right now, it's worth pointing out that there's some interesting conversations happening about the future of this building. There was a very recent meeting, and ideas that are on the table include putting a Hamilton Museum into the space, and also the idea of putting another branch of the Hamilton Public Library into the space. And wouldn't that be amazing? You go down and sit by the window in the winter and read a good book and look out over that wonderful view of the harbor. There's also a lot happening near this building, and for an interim period, we understand it is going to be used as a sales center because Pier 8 is being redeveloped as a new residential community on the waterfront. When all is said and done, there'll be about 1,500 residential units, and it'll be mostly 6- and 7-story condominium-style buildings with streetscapes created in between. So worth pointing out as well, there'll be a mix of retail, commercial, and institutional uses at street level. So more, again, for people to come down into the neighborhood to enjoy in the way of shops and pubs and restaurants and cafes. In addition, there are conversations happening about also building what's being described as a landmark building, which could be as high as 45 stories. And if you can imagine where the parking lot is immediately east of the Williams Coffee Pub, the lovely parking lot with the very green sections or bioswales in between, that's the location where, if approved, this 45-story residential tower would rise up. So lots of really interesting change coming for this whole area of Pier 8. And there are also interesting animations that you can check out through YouTube and the city's YouTube channel if you want to get a sense of visually what the new neighborhood will look like once it's all completed into the future. One other important thing to note, since this is a Stackwatch tour after all, is that these residential units are being built fairly close to industry. Hamilton has a growing agri-industry in the community, and there's a brand new facility immediately east of where these homes are being proposed. So there's some interesting tensions and challenges with this redevelopment, and issues with off-site impacts, mainly particulate pollution from the agri-industry activities that may well create problems for people living in these neighborhoods. But more on that when we get to the Stackwatch section of our podcast series.
That's all for episode 2. Once you reach the area where there are orange umbrellas to your right with the City of Hamilton logo above, you can press play for episode 3.